Welcome everyone to our first Inner Circle event. I'm super excited. I'm thrilled to have each and every one of you join us today. Our wonderful wellness expert, Natalie, will be guiding us on a transformative journey towards freedom from stress and our limiting beliefs, which is going to create a huge game changer in all of our lives. As I've mentioned before, how we do one thing, we do everything. So really priming our foundation to have a clear mind and clear heart to perform is the most important things to any kind of success. Taking time for self-love and personal growth. In our today's session, our intention is to empower you and us to handle more stress and more success. And let's begin on this powerful new journey together. I'll pass it on to you, Natalie.
Thank you so much, Mitra. And thank you so much for Simour Design for having me today. I am very, very excited for today's session. We are going to be tapping into inner freedom. How do we release stress and anxiety? How do we really look at our limiting beliefs and really even step into a role of leadership as we go through and do this inner work today? So we are going to be going through a nice guided meditation at the end, and we're also going to be going through some journaling prompts. So if you have a pen, a paper, or journal, feel free to grab it, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen very quickly with you all. All right, let's pull this up. So today we're tapping into inner freedom and stepping into leadership. And when we tap into inner freedom, we are also decreasing the stress and anxiety in our lives. I like to start off every session with a little quote. So for today's quote is, even in the midst of life's many storms, we have the capacity to stand in the center of our own peace. So what this means is no matter what is happening in our external reality, we have the tools and the means to go within and to find peace. So no matter what's happening on the outside, today, I hopefully will share some little tricks and examples of how that we can find that inner peace within. So I also like to start off all of my sessions with a breathing exercise. And for today's session, we are going to be doing a box breathing technique. It's also called the 4-4-4 technique. Now, this is a breathing technique that you can do on your own at any time, whether you're at work, whether it's in the morning, maybe you have a little trouble going to sleep. And how this box breathing technique works is we're going to start by inhaling for 4 seconds. We're going to hold at the top for 4 seconds and then exhale for 4 seconds. And I am going to lead us through this guided meditation. And it's really here to help calm your nervous system, decrease stress within the body. And I also just like to give a few benefits. It helps with insomnia, so it helps you sleep, helps control hyperventilation. This will also help you refocus, decreases stress and anxiety, improves your mood, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and just calms your mind. So we're going to do this to ground today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So for everyone seated, let's go ahead and just make our way comfortable seated on our chair. Our spine is nice and long. Feet are on the floor. And when I like to start off our sessions, I like to just keep my palms facing down. So we're going to leave our palms facing down on our lap because this also signifies grounding our energy. Sometimes we're very busy bopping to one thing to another. We might feel a little bit floaty, right? So right now we're here to ground and to get centered. So keeping our palms facing down, we're going to close our eyes together. And just allow the face to soften, the shoulders to relax down your back. And we're going to begin by taking in a nice, big, deep inhale through the nose, nice and slowly. Filling your whole belly up with air. And long, audible exhale, and just let it go. Almost like you're fogging up a glass window. Let's do this 2 more times together. Nice, deep inhale through the nose, nice and slowly. Holding it at the top, and long exhale, release. One more time together. Nice, deep inhale. Maybe it's your biggest breath yet today. Holding it at the top, sipping in a little bit more air. And then as you exhale, just let go of the weight of the morning, the day, the week. And then bring your breath back to its natural rhythm. And now we're going to begin by inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, holding it at the top. And exhale, let it go. Slowly, maybe move your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, blink open your eyes, just coming back into the room, coming back into the environment that we're in. Thank you, guys. Just a little exercise to ground, and feel free to use that anytime, anywhere, especially if you're feeling stressed. So something that I like to go over as we start is the difference between stress versus anxiety. Sometimes we don't really realize the difference. And this is because they have a lot of the same symptoms. They trigger the amygdala the same way. They're often used interchangeably, but they can actually be two different states. So stress, this is a situation that we can see, comprehend. We know what we're dealing with. We know what's stressing us out. An example of that is, oh, I'm so stressed because of this deadline. Or maybe if you have children, I'm stressed because my child did XYZ, right? But anxiety is a tiny bit different. It's this visceral feeling that can really linger in the body. We might not be super clear about why it's even really happening. It's almost like when we wake up in the morning and we feel anxious, but we're not really sure why. And what happens is when we have this stress and we have this anxiety, it's because we're living either in the past or in the future. And what this means is we're replaying those stories over and over and over again of what has happened to us in the past, or we're overthinking about what's going to happen to us in the future. And how many times have we created a story in our mind about the future when we became so stressed about it, but then it didn't even happen that way, right? And this is what we tend to do as humans. So I just like to give the difference between stress and anxiety. We also hold it in our bodies in different ways, depending, person to person. And what the beauty of mindfulness and meditation and what we're talking about today, and also the box breathing technique, it helps to bring our awareness and our focus into the present moment. And when we can bring the awareness and focus into the present moment, that's when we tap into that inner freedom that we're going to talk about. So it's all very much related, all very much connected. And when we tap into that inner freedom, when we're able to be present, we then can release a lot of things that might be weighing us down from day to day. And I'm going to preface by saying, you know what, we're all human. We can't live perfectly in the present moment all the time. But when we practice meditation and we practice mindfulness, it's like going to the gym. It's like working a muscle. The more that we work that muscle through meditation, the more that we practice, the more that we're going to see its benefits and results. Maybe the first time we go to the gym, the very first time, we might not see muscles in definition. But as we keep going and as we really, focus on working out, maybe in 2 weeks, we start to notice a difference, or maybe in a few days, we feel more clear-minded. Meditation and mindfulness practices are the same. So don't get discouraged in any way. Just in case, I hear from my clients all the time, Natalie, I cannot meditate. I can't, live in the present moment, but we're just starting slow and we're just taking it step by step. And also too, if anybody has any questions, we are going to do a Q&A at the end, and feel free to put anything into the chat that you would like to share. So inner freedom, what exactly is inner freedom? And really, how do we even step into this inner freedom? This is this liberation that exists within us. It's our mind, our emotions, our body. It's like who we are, right? Because when we tap into this inner freedom, sometimes we have we feel like we might feel burdened by our mind and our thoughts. We might feel burdened by our emotions. We might just feel burdened just from our bodies. And what we're going to tap into today is really learning how to release those, stories we might have about our emotions, or the stories that our mind is telling us. And this is not dependent, almost like what we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter what our external factors are, because we're going to go within to find it and to really untap and unlock it. And it's really finding this peace, this acceptance, this contentment from inside, no matter what is going to happen to us in our lives. Because you know what? We go through happy moments and we go through not happy moments, but it's how we really utilize and step into really using our mindfulness tools. We can shift our emotions, and we can really shift out of our situation or our emotions a little bit faster if we're going through a challenging time. So we're going to cultivate this self-awareness. It's going to help you to make conscious choices, and also kind of detach ourselves just from all these expectations that we might have from other people or situations. We're going to learn how to live more authentically, follow our values, and really find that joy from within. So for today, we're going to tap into the personal growth, self-mastery, and also just find resilience, because everybody here is powerful. Everybody here is resilient. We're just going inwards to tap deeper into that. So I just wanted to give a few examples of really how to cultivate this inner freedom. One is this self-awareness. This is understanding ourselves. And a lot of times we don't take the time to be alone. We don't explore our values, our beliefs, our emotions, and what is important to us. Do we spend time maybe in meditation alone? Is that scary? Do we have that alone time? Are we clear on what we ultimately desire in our lives? So just getting clear on that and bringing that self-awareness is really the first step. 2 is letting go of attachments. And I like to use surrender in a lot of my sessions. And I'm going to give you an example of letting go of attachments. And this can be anything. This can be like something we experienced when we were younger. It could be actual possessions. It could be any limiting beliefs. Because what happens is we try to control things so strongly. I know I do sometimes. I'm very guilty of this. And we want to control other people and circumstances and situations. And an example is where everyone just make a fist. So when we make a fist, what happens? We might feel tense. Like for me, my jaw is clenching, my shoulders are up. I feel this tightness in my arms. And this is me trying to control things. Now I want us all to take in a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, open your palm, open that fist. And what happens? When we release that grip of control, we start to feel lighter. We start to relax the body, the physical body. The tension starts to go away. So we want to also start just letting go and learning how to surrender. I also put here acceptance and self-compassion. A lot of times we don't treat ourselves very well, right? We have those thoughts running over and over. 96% of our thoughts are from our subconscious mind. And most of them are not that nice. So it's recognizing this, and where can we give ourselves more acceptance and self-compassion for where we're at in the present moment, not 6 months from now, not if we accomplish X, Y, Z. It's how do we find this in the now? Mindfulness and presence is number 4. And this is what we're practicing today. We're learning how to be present. We're focusing on the present moment. We're taking ourselves out of that stress, out of that anxiety of living in the past, of living in the future, right? And we're experiencing the freedom of the here and the now. I like to say that the present moment is a gift, and that's why it's called the present. And it's just retraining ourselves of how to be more present in our day-to-day lives. And from doing that, we really start to cultivate that inner freedom. Number 5, embracing change and uncertainty. This, again, it has to do with that control. We let go of that grip of control and that resistance. We can embrace change as they come, because again, We're human. We are going to go through changes, some of them great, some of them not so great. So when we embrace the changes and we open ourselves up to new possibilities, we start to have the sense of inner freedom. Number 6, cultivating gratitude. I don't know if anybody here has a gratitude practice or has practiced gratitude, but this is an amazing way to bring yourself more into the present moment and to become more mindful. I'd like to say when we practice gratitude for things that we have, again, right now, not 6 months from now, and it could be little things, we shift our focus to what we lack to what we have. And that actually can even change our beliefs about us, which we're going to get into. And I also like to say the more we practice gratitude for, the more the universe gives us to be grateful for. Number 7, living aligned with our values and really identifying our core values. And this can be within ourselves, what we maybe would like in a partner, what we would like when we're at work. What are your core values? And sometimes sometimes we're not even clear on this, but just by identifying and living in alignment with our values, we start to create this sense of inner freedom. So another huge thing is limiting beliefs. I love to talk about limiting beliefs. It's also something that I really try to work on very daily, because our belief system, especially from when we were born and when we were kids, has a massive impact on us now as adults in the present moment. So as we go into this inner freedom, we tap more into our authentic selves and what we desire, we also start to shift our beliefs and our perceptions about ourselves. And that's what I wrote here. Beliefs are conditioned perceptions built upon old memories of pain or pleasure from what we experience when we're younger. Now, beliefs are very important. They give us understanding of the world. However, what is crucial is we want to make sure our beliefs, our thoughts, that they're in alignment with what we actually want to bring forth into our lives. And I'm going to give you an example. And I'm going to use finances just because it's something people can relate to. If we were told when we're younger, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, and or people who have make XYZ are greedy, and we start to think that, and then that's the reality that we're giving to ourselves. And that could be with, or it can be a belief system about having a partner. It can be a belief system of just simply, I am not good enough. If we believe that I am not good enough, then that's what we're going to start to put out into the world. So it's when we practice these mindfulness, breathing exercises, meditations, we actually start to shift our limiting beliefs. Also getting clear of our values and what we ultimately desire, we start to shift our beliefs. Because limited thoughts keep us in lack or survival mode. So we want to make sure what we're saying about ourselves and what we believe is in alignment with what we ultimately desire. Because I like to say a thriving life equals a thriving mindset. So we're all here to shift our mindset a little bit. It's a daily practice. It's a lifelong practice. And by doing so, we start to create more of that inner freedom. And meditation, visualization techniques can really help us do that. So we are going to be doing a meditation today, and we are going to be doing some journaling prompts. And then something else that I just wanted to share that I thought was pretty important is inner freedom and forgiveness. In order to create this freedom within ourselves, forgiveness is a huge part of that. It's a very powerful tool for releasing emotional burdens, letting go of any resentment, and really finding inner peace. And that could be within ourselves. It's going back to those limiting thoughts. Maybe we're not forgiving ourselves for something. It's going back to living in the past or living in the future. But where can we forgive ourselves and tune into, where I'm at right now? I'm proud of myself. I'm feeling good. Where can we notice our wins? We focus so much on things that are going wrong in our lives sometimes that we forget to celebrate the little or big wins in our lives. So it's giving ourselves that forgiveness, and that releases this huge weight off of our shoulders. And also, when we forgive ourselves, we can easily forgive other people, our partners, our family, our friends. So having that inner freedom can also start with forgiveness. And that can be through emotional liberation, breaking the cycles of hurt or grudges that we have, letting go of the past. Again, going back to that past or the future. It's all interconnected. Empowerment and self-love. enhance relationships, and also embracing a role as a leader. When we feel lighter, we can step into a leadership role with ourselves and other people. So every single thing that we're talking about is all intertwined. Even sessions to come, all intertwined. So just to kind of back up a little bit, we have the ways to tap into this inner freedom within ourselves, looking at our core values, practicing meditation, learning to live in the present moment, looking at our belief system. What beliefs are not in alignment with what we ultimately desire? It's shifting out of the lack mentality, I am not enough, to I am powerful, I am safe, I am worthy. What we put after the words I am is so important. So if there's anything from the session today, just be mindful of what is coming after I am when you speak, or even within our thoughts. And then, of course, it all ties into forgiveness as well. So we have the inner freedom, we're working on ourselves, and this is also tying into the role of becoming a successful leader. Many people here maybe are entrepreneurs, are involved with companies, working day to day, but how do we step into the role of a successful leader? And maybe this is just a leader within ourselves. It starts with really letting go of that stress and anxiety, tapping into our inner freedom, and we are more suited for a role of leadership. Going back to the inner freedom and also our quote, when we tap into that, we start to let go of a lot of the external. As a leader, there's going to be a lot of things happening externally. So it's good to have that inner freedom to make choices, to make decisions that are more in alignment with peace, with love, with gratitude, with respect, versus anger, fear, greed, jealousy. Also, when we shift our belief system about ourselves, maybe we don't believe we can actually be a leader. Maybe we don't believe we are worthy of that. But when we shift our belief system and realize how powerful we are as human beings, we start to shift the world around us. We're able to step into our power, cultivate a sense of change and transformation with ourselves, with our work, with our relationships, and also our outer environment. The more that our inner world changes, the more our outer environment changes, the more our relationships change. It all starts from within. It's not that external changes and then we change, it's we do the work on ourselves and then the outside changes to match that frequency. So when we become a successful leader and we practice our meditations, we practice letting go, we practice inner freedom, we're able to lead from a place of empathy and understanding rather than what we just said, that fear, that anxiousness, scarcity, and or control. So again, it's all intertwined and it's all interweaved together. And I just wanted to share a few steps to leadership too. And this goes back to, very similar things as that inner freedom. We're cultivating our self-awareness. We're leadership, maybe continuing learning, effective communication. Even when we do practice our inner freedom, this helps us communicate with others better. When we're leading from a place of love versus fear, we're able to have communication with others in a more higher vibrational way. And I like to just use love or fear because I really think there's two different emotions. One's love, one's fear. Everything falls under them. So if we're in the state of fear, that's lack, scarcity, jealousy, control, sadness, anger. And again, we're human. We're going to feel those emotions, right? But it's being mindful of this. And then there's also love, which is peace, joy, gratitude, happiness. So if I say like fear or love, it's really all the emotions associated under them as well. Vision and goal setting, which is something that we can talk about in another session for sure. Empathy and emotional intelligence, and we get that through our inner freedom. Delegation and empowerment, leading by example. When we find that inner freedom, we're able to step up as a leader and people maybe will look up to you in that regards. Adaptability and resilience, and collaboration and teamwork. And all of this is enhanced through mindfulness, through meditation, through that inner freedom that we are ultimately seeking. And a lot of companies that I even work with and employees, it's that mindfulness piece is so, so important for all leaders. Many successful leaders all credit a lot of their success to their mindfulness and meditation practice. Okay, so just being mindful of our time together, I wanted to share some mindful journaling prompts. So we started off with our breathing exercise, wanted just to quickly, go through some techniques, talk about this inner freedom. How is it weaved together with releasing stress and anxiety, living in the present moment, really transforming our limited beliefs, and also tapping into forgiveness so we can show up as the best version of ourselves for ourselves and for other people and our loved ones. So we're all going to grab a journal. I'm going to do this with you. So we all have a journal and a pen, and I'm going to go through some mindful journaling prompts. And the first one is, what does inner freedom mean to you? And how would your life be different if you experience a deep sense of inner freedom? Because sometimes it's just getting clear. Sometimes we don't even know. What would inner freedom really, really mean? How can we go about our day-to-day lives with that feeling versus maybe being in fear? Number two, reflect on any limiting beliefs or thought patterns that might be holding you back from experiencing inner freedom. Write about ways in which you can challenge and overcome these limitations. So another good thing to practice to do for number two is saying, like, I'm not enough. How can we change that sentence? How can we say, I am fully stepping into my power as a successful leader. I am fully embracing who I am now in the present moment. See how you can reword these things in a positive light. Three, your ideal life filled with inner freedom. Really describe it in detail, exploring various aspects of relationship, career, personal growth, and leisure. What steps can you take to move closer to the vision? Now, with number three, I always say when we write down our intentions or goals, see if we can be as detailed as possible as if it's happening now. So if you decide to do three, because these are all optional, you can choose one, you can choose all five, you can do two. It's totally up to you. You can take a screenshot, do them later. But if we are going to talk about and go into detail of what we want to bring in, how would we feel if we had this inner freedom? Would we be able to successfully maybe attract a partner in a certain way, attract our house? Really getting into the detail of it happening in the present moment is key. And that's like a whole other discussion that we can have about really tapping into more of the present and manifesting. But see if you can just, put a little mindful steps, imagine what your ideal life will be like, we don't want to say like, I want, or this is what this is what I, want in the future. It's more like putting it in the present moment. I am XYZ. 4, reflect on your leadership style. What are your core values and beliefs as a leader? This is just a little reflective question here. 5, identify your strengths and weaknesses. What are your key strengths as a leader? And conversely, what areas do you need to improve upon? So I just wanted to give a few journaling examples, whether you wanted to go deeper into leadership or if you wanted to go deeper on freedom and your beliefs. But we are going to take some time right now. I don't think I can share my screen and the music at the same time, so we will be doing this in silence. I will be mindful of our time. And then when we go into our meditation, I will be sharing music. So it would be nice to get into the flow with our meditation and music. But let's go ahead and just open up our journals and just take a few minutes just for some reflective, a little inner work. So I'm going to do this with you. And if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to throw it in the chat or let me know. But all right, let's do it. And again, we might not have time for all 5 today, so go ahead and maybe pick 2 or 3. This is just a chance to reflect. All right, we're going to give it just another minute or so. So feel free to wrap up on your question. And you can also take a screenshot and see if you can go back and revisit some of these later tonight as well. All right. So if anybody would like to share, I always like to open it up. Feel free to put it in the chat. If you want to share something, I mean, I can share one of mine. I chose number 1. What does inner freedom mean to you? How would your life be different if you experience this inner freedom? I put for inner freedom, really able to speak my truth without really expectations of others. Sometimes we're so worried about maybe what we might say and how people might respond, and doing this in a loving way, but not having those expectations of, are they going to accept me or are they going to reject me, right? So really allowing myself to tap into that inner freedom, and also following my own intuition. When we tap into inner freedom, we start to hear our gut feeling. We hear our intuition. So how can I really follow my intuition without any external factors, without reaching out externally for the answers, without reaching out to other people? How can I just follow my intuition and really trust that it's guiding me, right? And sometimes my life might be go differently. How many times have we maybe thought of a gut feeling and then our mind told us no and we went no, and then we're like, oh, I should have listened to my gut. So that's what I just naturally try to do. I think it would maybe help me feel a less stressed or less pressured if I really listen to that guidance a little bit more. So that's just an example. So does anybody else want to share? Feel free to throw it in the chat box. And if not, that's okay too. But make sure to take a screenshot of this and see if you can practice and finish your journaling prompt sometime tonight. All right, so we're going to dive into our meditation, and we're going to use a mantra. So the power of mantras. I like to start off with a mantra because this can help, again, tune our awareness into the present moment when we're meditating. It helps us take a little bit more control. Like if our thoughts start to arise, we can come back to a mantra, and it has a very calming effect. And we shift our focus away from distracting thoughts, and we bring our awareness into the now. So I am going to be leading the mantra, I am the creator of my own freedom. And this has to do, with our inner freedom and our inner beliefs. So I'm going to be leading this mantra, I am the creator of my own freedom. You can feel free to write it down if you like as well. So it's something that you might want to use outside of the session. So in order to do, let's meditate. We're going to do our meditation. Here's the fun part. I'm going to quickly stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to share music. So this way we have some nice relaxing music with us. So let me go ahead, share this. I think everyone might be able to hear. If for some reason you can't hear this, let me know. All right. So for today's meditation, I just invite you all to let go as we go through this, right? We're exploring our inner world. Sometimes it can be scary. And if the mind starts to wander, that's okay. We are going to get started seated, keeping our spine nice and long. And with this time, we're going to keep our palms facing up. And when we keep our palms facing up, this signifies that we're open to receive. Open to receive that guidance, that joy, that happiness, that release from that stress and anxiety. So go ahead and close down the eyes. And with your eyes closed, just a little quick tip that I like to share is I like to just gaze at the space between my eyebrows very slightly. You are not straining the eyes. This is just so you know the difference between sleeping and meditation today. So just keeping the eyes closed. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, holding it at the top. And exhale, release. Allow your body and mind to relax with each exhale that you take. Another deep, big belly breath in, sipping in a little bit more air, and exhale, let it go. Let's do that one more time together. Your biggest breath yet today. Inhale through the nose. And let any fear or anxiety leave the body as you exhale out through the mouth. Let it go. And begin to shift your focus to your body, bringing your attention and awareness to any areas that might feel tight. There's tension, tightness you might be holding on to. And as you inhale, imagine breathing in relaxation and softness. This allows your body to release any physical tension. Very good. And let go. Now I invite you to use the mantra, I am the creator of my own freedom. I am the creator of my own freedom. You can repeat this mantra silently to yourself throughout the meditation. Maybe you notice your thoughts and emotions that arise. Just see if you can observe any thoughts or feelings that arise without judgment or attachment. Allow them to come and go, almost like passing clouds in the sky. As thoughts and feelings and emotions arise, we allow them to. We maintain a sense of inner calm and detachment to them. Coming back to the mantra, I am the creator of my own freedom. I am the creator of my own freedom. Turn your awareness to the present moment. And just notice the sensations of your breath as it flows in and out. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen, or the coolness and warmth of your breath through your nostrils. Allow your breath to anchor you into the present moment, cultivating this inner freedom inside of you. I am the creator of my own freedom. And as you continue to focus on your breath, imagine with each inhale you're inviting a deep sense of freedom and peace within. Feel these sensations expand within you, spreading throughout your entire being. Nice deep inhales. Exhales, let it go. As you focus on your breath, imagine there's a cord coming from the base of your spine. And this cord is going deep, deep down into the earth. And this cord connects onto the core center of the earth, allowing you to feel rooted and grounded in this space. Now imagine anything not serving you or holding you back, anything that's causing stress or anxiety. You imagine it leaving through the base of your spine, through this cord, getting recycled into the earth. Any thoughts or feelings or emotions, any fear, people, places, things, anything that's not serving you, it's leaving. Stay here for a few breaths. When these things that we don't need anymore leave the body, we start to become the creator of our inner freedom. I am the creator of my own freedom. You start to feel lighter and more at peace as these things, these feelings are leaving your body. And now imagine a bright light starting from the core center of the earth, coming up the cord and entering into the base of your spine, filling your entire body, transmuting any stuck energy you're holding onto, creating space to cultivate this inner freedom. As this light flows through you, you're embracing a mindset, a feeling of acceptance and non-attachment. We let go. We recognize that true inner freedom arises when we stop clinging to external outcomes, expectations from others, and we release the grip of control. Taking in a nice deep inhale through the nose, holding it at the top, and long exhale, fully release and let go. Just coming back into the state of peace and contentment as you feel this whole light filling your body that you brought in through the base of your spine. This light brings you that relaxation, that peace, that inner freedom from within. And then slowly begin to move your fingers, begin to move your toes, coming back into the room that you're in, feeling the clothes on your skin. And take in a nice, one more big deep breath and let it go. And then slowly blink, open your eyes, just coming back into the room, coming back into the environment. I'm going to shut the music. I hope everybody is feeling really good right now. Thank you so much for sharing that meditation with me. I definitely feel it. And I know that we are about on time, so I would love to connect with you and just thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you're feeling more relaxed, more at peace, and just feeling more centered. And know that it's all about those little baby steps that you can take every day to tap into that inner freedom, to shift your limiting beliefs and really let go of any stress and anxiety you're holding on to. So I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat right now. I'm happy to answer. And thank you all so much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Natalie. That was amazing. It was extremely empowering, yet very simple. It's so amazing when being an expert, being intentional and giving the right tools in such a short amount of time can make a huge difference. I enjoyed it a lot. It was fantastic.
Thank you. I enjoyed it as well. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We were live in different platforms. I hope this gift coming from us, from our heart, truly, resonated with everyone and gave them more tools to be empowered, to be, more in charge of their lives and their inner freedom. So I wanted first thank you again, and also everyone who spent the time with us. And also a quick note, where we're going to do this on a monthly basis. So I'm excited to have this and give that to our community. And also a quick announcement that we have a webinar tomorrow. If you're interested to join, to learn more about design and how to really transform and create a more amazing practice for yourself, we would love to have you in our webinar tomorrow. The registration will be available on our chat and also on our Instagram page and other platform as well. And wishing you a day filled with amazingness, empowering, and inner peace. And see you on the next event. Is there anything else you want to add, Natalie?
No, I think that's it. So looking forward to seeing you all again and connecting. And I'm excited for the next one. So thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.